Hello, happy
Good.
Friday.
It is Friday. It doesn't sound the same when I say it. Friday.
Friday.
Yeah, Kurt and Jen in the morning, our podcast, and heading into the weekend. And you're saying, are you going to call it July Eve for this weekend?
Happy July Eve. Yeah, I'm gonna say that
Okay,
for sure.
you're. That's fine. I was just checking. I'm going to say that for sure,
For
Mister.
sure, for sure. It's July Eve tomorrow. I cannot believe, not tomorrow. It's not July Eve. What am I talking about? I
I
have it
don't know.
wrong. July 1st is what day? Monday. Happy
Yeah, each
July.
weekend is July Eve, technically.
Oh, I screwed that up. Oh well.
It's fine. It's fine.
We're
So,
we're heading
um,
into a holiday week, or
that's
like, yeah, right?
And you've already started your holidaying, if you will, because you are live on location, Jen Pirak.
I know, and it's Kurt's worst nightmare because I have unstable connection. So the audio, we apologize in advance if it's bad. It's not Kurt's fault. Like he prides himself on really great audio for our show, and he has zero control
It's
over
not
this.
my fault. That's what it's my fault. Oh my goodness.
It's
All
not
right,
your
that's
fault.
fine.
That's my whole point.
So I'm trying to get to all the things we're going to talk about today because it was a lot. We're going to cover. You know what? And I'm glad you brought up the Taylor Swift thing because that makes me real mad.
Me
And
too.
we'll get to that in just a second as to why people Taylor Swift is a bad role model.
Come
But
on.
first, let's talk about well, you had a bunch of birthdays you found.
Well, first, wait,
Um,
Kurt, you're
you
going
want to
ahead
talk
of
about
you're getting
your box.
Kleenex with lotion box. This is
Mm-hmm.
what I would not, this is not my favorite box, but it became my favorite box because my favorite one is pink. But check this out. Mount Rainier's featured on the back of one of the Kleenex with lotion boxes. I got this whole big pack at Costco, and this was one of the designs. It's all featuring Mount Rainier, and then on the back of the Kleenex box, it has a whole thing about Mount Rainier, and I'm just so proud of our state. Okay, that is all.
I would never put all that together. And I said, "Hey, cool. They're featuring Mount Rainier. I wonder what it is for the other 49 states." But that's all right, and it worked because you bought a bunch of them, right?
I bought a pack and that's one of the designs. I tried to get a pack that had more pink and purple designs, but I had that one and I'm glad I did.
It had nothing to do with local landmarks or anything like that. More pink.
I don't know because I don't know what the
It's true. Pink is up.
I just don't know what the back of the other box sounds like. Okay, let's go through some birthdays. Although I do want to remind people that because we're going into a holiday week, I know lots of people are going out of town. You can access the
Right.
Kurt and Jen in the Morning podcast pretty much anywhere you are. It's just,
Yeah.
still on your favorite podcast platform. Just grab us because we're still going to be doing a show next week.
What she said, grab us. We're still going to be doing a show next week. Grab us.
Please.
Uh, I think it's interesting here, and I'm going to do this as the first birthday because I kind of throw these two in the same type of category.
Okay.
The way it's written here is today, 58 years old for Jen's old movie boyfriend, John Cusack, right?
Yes.
Because Say Anything was the epitome of the teen romance, it still is, if you ask me. And
I
that scene,
know.
of course, with him in the boombox and Peter Gabriel in Your Eyes playing. Who else is 58 today is Mary Stuart Masterson. And that to me was like she was the tomboyish, as they used to say, girl in
Some kind of
Some Kind
wonderful,
of
right?
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And I think most guys are rooting for her. Nothing against, was it Leah Thompson? Who Leah
Yes. I think so. Yeah.
she was the pretty girl that the guy. So anyway, but we're like, come on, Mary Stuart Masterson's the cool one, and she's super cute. So Mary Stuart Masterson and John Cusack both 58 today. Then we jump up a bit in years. Well, I don't want to talk about Elon Musk. He's 53.
Well, I mean, I just thought it was interesting. He's 53 years old and he's worth $230 billion with a B as in boy.
And I think he has like 12 kids. So
Well,
is that
okay.
true? Is it 12? Yeah. Kathy Bates turned 76. Mel Brooks, the king, in my opinion,
He
of
is. See, I
comedy.
don't like his movies that much.
Well, that's okay. You're entitled to your opinion and you can be wrong. So
Name
that's
some of
fine.
his movies. Very funny. Name some of his movies, Kurt.
History of the World Part 1, Spaceballs,
Blazing Saddles.
Blazing Saddles. I was getting there. Young Frankenstein, Frankenstein. It's just these are classics. It's like he's had the producers. He's had a few that weren't the greatest. How about Robin Hood and Men in Tights? There you go.
I love that he's 98 years old, though. He's 2 years away from the big 100. Go Mel.
He's doing all right.
All right. Yesterday we
Checking out
asked
our
in a
poll from
it's
yesterday. Yeah.
yeah, our Instagram poll, is it considered littering if you pour out a beverage in a parking lot? Not dump the cup. We're not saying dump the cup. We're just saying, the whole open your door or unroll the window, dump the liquid contents out and be on your way.
And as we kind of suspected, most people said that is not littering. That
No.
is not littering. In fact, 85% say not littering. Only 15% said that was littering. And I'd like to find out how those people consider it littering.
I was going to say only 15%. I still feel like that's a big number to say it's littering.
Yeah, exactly.
I just
If it washes away with the next rain or it goes down into the sewer system, I mean, it's not really littering.
I just feel a little more validated that I wasn't littering, because that was mortifying when I was reading up on that. Like, that was a question online that I saw, and I'm like, no way. If that's the case, I'm littering, and I don't like litter bugs.
You are a litter bug, I guess. No,
Yeah.
you
50% of people, I guess I am.
it's okay. We just won't talk to those 15% of people.
I had to bring this up because it's such a big deal. Like, I couldn't even believe it. So there's a massive
Oh,
sinkhole that swallowed up a soccer field in Illinois. Kurt, did you see it? The video?
the video is impressive, I guess, for lack of better terms.
Crazy.
It's about a 100-foot wide sinkhole, 100 feet wide and 30 to 50 feet deep. And apparently, this soccer complex in Illinois was built in 2019 on top of a limestone mine. So it sounds like that might have had something to do with it.
I mean, if you have not seen the video, it is worth watching. Thankfully,
No one hurt.
there was no one on the field when that happened. It was just like this random, like, all of a sudden the earth like collapsed into itself.
Yeah, and that happens. It seems that happens a lot more in the South. I mean, I hear about it happening in Florida and stuff like that because their land is very soft or sandy. Anyway,
Like
I'm
big
not sure.
like that, big holes like that happen in Florida randomly on the regular.
Well, you hear about a car got swallowed up by one. Usually it's not like they fall into the bowels of hell. It's like it opens up and they go down 7 feet or whatever.
That's like a
I
bad
mean,
movie.
yeah,
Okay.
there
Let's
has
talk
probably
about
been
this. Let's talk about this Taylor Swift thing, Kurt, because I'm seriously mad at this writer of Newsweek magazine.
right. So reputable rag, I guess. Taylor Swift, obviously one of the most influential people on the planet, not just in the country, on the planet, and especially for young girls. Which is this is the thing. This writer for Newsweek, John McGillion, I guess is his name. He wrote an opinion piece saying Taylor Swift is not a good role model. Okay. And here are some of the reasons why.
I'm not even I'm gonna just let you talk about it. You can just I'll comment, but
Starters, this is all bad. I mean, and not bad for her, bad for him. Plus you don't want to feel the wrath of Swifties, but I guess he doesn't care. Okay, the reasons that this guy says Taylor Swift is not a good role model for girls. For starters, he says she's unmarried and childless at 34. Ooh.
Who cares that she's unmarried and childless? That doesn't make you a bad role model for young girls.
Clearly. How about the second one? This is he refers to her revolving door of relationships. Quote, would any loving parent reading this want their daughter to date 12 different men in the span of just a few years?
I don't know her date. I don't know like her whole
12
dating
seems
thing.
kind of like a lot, but I think he's wrong about that. But
I do too.
either way, even if that's what it was, who cares?
Yeah, she's trying to find her person. It's like I think that as long as she's learning in each relationship that she's going through and it's getting better and better, which it seems to have. Her and Travis seem very happy together.
Right. Now, in defense of that, she seemed happy with all of the guys that she has dated over the past few years, and then something goes wrong.
Well, true, but I feel like there's a different vibe with her and Travis.
And that's their I'll just stick with Taylor here. I don't know what it's like to have that level, obviously, of fame, and it's that's beyond just being famous. I mean, that's a name, worldwide. She is adored and loved and influential, as we said here.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it'd be like. We were talking about that. There was somebody caught a shot of her in concert and a little snot coming out of her nose or whatever. And what do you do? It's like, first of all, who cares? That happens to everybody. And secondly, if you've got cameras and every move you make is shared on social media, I mean, it's going to, you're going to see all the flaws and stuff too that didn't happen 20, 30 years ago, where, you could be dating somebody or multiple somebodies and, they didn't know your every move or what happened every minute of every day that you're with them. So I think that puts her to disadvantage.
Well,
Uh,
anyway, the bottom line is this author of this Newsweek article wrong, in my opinion. I think that it's ridiculous for him to say that she is not a good role model because she is not married and childless. I mean, just the top headline right there is ridiculous. You're
hmm.
just fine if you're focusing on your career, and she's made it huge. That's great.
Yeah, I don't know anybody besides this dude.
I
I was
don't know,
going I was
whatever.
going to use a different D word there, but I bailed.
I just wanted people to know that this article was written and it's ridiculous. And if you want to read the whole thing, you can. It's Newsweek, but bleh.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
think real quick, this was written just to suck people in, and
Maybe. Oh
so
yeah, because it's Swifties. Yeah, that's true. To make
yep,
elevate Newsweek. Good idea, Kurt. That's a good
yep.
thought. Good thought.
So
All
don't
right.
read it.
My week, as I said yesterday, has not been the best week ever. And
Right?
I was super excited, finding a lot of joy in the whole like road trip in the motorhome with hot firefighter boyfriend Pat, my daughter Macy. We get to Moses Lake because we're riding, right? So we've got dirt bikes here, we've got quads, we've got our side by side, and went out riding the first ride out, came back, and I get
Yeah.
out of the side by side and I'm like, oh my God, my leg hurts so badly. Like something is not right with my leg. And so I
What
had
did you do
to
to your
go.
leg?
I got in the motorhome. I'm like, it is really like something bit me. My inner
Oh,
thigh had a like, I don't even know what, bee sting, something. I mean, I had to drop my drawers as soon as I got in the motorhome. It was so painful. Pat made up a concoction of the the baking soda in case it was a bee sting. Like my leg, my inner thigh was swelling up, which it doesn't need any help being bigger.
how could you
Anyway,
get stung by something when you're just well because you're moving pretty fast? I guess. All right. Well,
Kurt,
regardless,
that's the mystery that remains to be solved because I have no idea on my inner thigh how I got a bug bite. Like it was so painful. It stung so badly.
is that so? Is are you going to perish or are you going to be okay? I know perish. That's a good word, isn't it?
Going to be fine. But I was like, are you kidding me? Come on. That's it. You're done. I got the bee sting or whatever it was, and now we're done. Game over.
Well, you
Bad week.
maybe
Everything good from here.
that's actually one of the five dangerous things about summer we're supposed to know about. And these things, I think they're relatively well known. But how about we go through them again real quick? Just to this, basically, this list was put up. Summer's here. We want you to stay safe. So here are five potentially dangerous things related to summer. And the first one is insect bites. Jen,
I know.
mosquitoes and ticks can carry different diseases like Zika and Lyme disease. I have a friend that has Lyme disease from a tick bite from 20 years ago, and I mean,
You were
it's a
telling me about her.
yeah, life. I mean, it's a
Life
can't
changing.
keep weight on, and that got down to like 85 pounds, and
Ugh.
it's yeah. Lyme disease is a
I've
bad
never
one.
heard of Zika before though.
Wasn't that alcoholic drink you used to have when you were in high school? I'm kidding. That's Zima.
Zima,
Uh,
that's right. I was like, I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember it. Okay, the other ones are dehydration and heat stroke. So just make sure you're staying hydrated. More
yep, yep.
people die from heat stroke each year than from tornadoes, hurricanes, floods, or cold weather. So that's easy to solve. Sunburns, make sure
Sun.
you got sunscreen.
Yep, they can cause skin cancer. That's the long term way to get you, but still wear your sunscreen. Also on here, some
Ugh.
other fun things. Don't drown. Okay, just don't drown.
You
All
just
right.
don't die. Don't die,
Yeah.
guys. Don't die.
4,000 people drown every year. And finally, food poison is more common in summer, apparently, because people handle raw meat when they're grilling and don't always wash their hands.
I would say that paired with like there's a lot of potlucks and barbecues and picnics, and people leave their mayonnaise based food like potato salad and macaroni salad out too long, and then
And
people
I
go back
hate
to eat it. Blech.
Mhm. And some of those critters that we were just talking about land on there.
Oh,
That's I think
gross.
dog poo. It's like, I'm going to put some of this in the egg salad. Yeah.
All
Good
right.
thing.
Being
This one,
I know, being a parent, and I
right?
struggle with this because I'm like, how much of my kids' stuff do I want to keep? I mean, I'm a sentimental person, you know that. But
Hmm.
I'm also wanting to like declutter all the things. I'm like, I don't want to throw away like what I'm going to save this piece of artwork when they're famous artists, or save this poem or writing stuff for when they, become a famous author. Like all the
Right. Then you'll need that stuff, but only, well, we'll get to the percentages here. The question was, how many times have you had your parents begging you to come back and collect all the stuff from your childhood that they kept, right? So,
I'm doing that with my 20-year-old daughter Riley right now, actually.
like, get this stuff out of here. And how many times also have you said that you don't want it and then found out later maybe you should have kept that memento or whatever? That's what this is about. The survey. Parents were asked, do you wish you had kept more of your children's childhood stuff, less of it, or about the same? And it turns out a very small percentage, 6% said they wish they would have kept less of their childhood, their kids' childhood stuff.
Meaning me, so they wish they would have kept less. So very
Right.
few people aren't regret. Is that right? Why can't I make this work in my mind?
Majority of people, the other percentages are 35% said they wish they would have kept more of the stuff, and about half said the same amount was good. What they actually had kept for their childhood mementos for their children was about right. But yes, the majority of people, very few people say, yeah, I wish I would have kept less of that stuff.
Okay, gosh, why was that so hard for my brain? I do not know.
Well,
Okay.
it's Friday. It's early. So there's two reasons. And also you're broadcasting remotely from Moses Lake. That's got to put you in a certain
With a
mindset.
with a bee sting.
Oh, well, now it's a bee sting for sure, right?
I don't know. I'm calling it that.
Sting. Okay. That'll come back, I'm sure, a few times during the show. So
So here's things that they kept. I just wanted to run this because this is stuff that I deal with. So they kept their photos, of course, of their kids. I am always going to keep those.
mhm.
Their artwork, awards and certificates, videos. That's another thing. Report cards. Like, should I even be keeping report cards, for crying out loud? Does that even matter?
My dad just sent me a bunch of report cards from my elementary school years, and I was like, "What am I going to do with these?" And he said, "What am I going to do with these?" That's a good point.
Exactly. Exactly.
A lot of people, about half people, kept cards or letters they received, and another 48% kept yearbooks.
I did
So,
not keep. I did not. I'm not keeping their yearbooks. They keep their yearbooks. The yearbooks are fun to have as go through the years.
right, right. So I think I've got two yearbooks, maybe from junior and senior in high school. That's about
What?
it.
I have one from elementary school. I have my two middle school books, and then I have all four of my yearbooks from high school. One of them I designed the cover of because I was on the yearbook committee. Is
Of
that
course,
surprising?
of course you were. No, well, we moved around a lot. So I went to elementary school in Cincinnati and junior high and in Albany, Georgia, and then we were in Iowa City for a while as my dad moved around with Procter and Gamble. And so I don't know. Or maybe I just wasn't that interested, but yeah, I don't have that many of those things.
Do you know
And again,
something? Oh, go ahead. Sorry, I'm sorry.
yeah, I can't really chime in on this because I don't have any kids. But
Oh, you can't. You know. I mean, your dad sent you report cards from your childhood. You're talking about the other side of it for sure. That perspective.
right, right.
I do keep some of their toys because I think, oh, I want my grandkids to be able to play with these.
And I imagine a few of them would be awesome for that. The majority, and I think that's what it comes down to is when you're like, you know what, I have 72 board games that my kids played or whatever. It's time to get rid of a few of them and just keep the important ones. But
In
then
moderation.
you
Yeah.
don't know later on that, if you would have held on to, and that's what I end up saying. If I would have kept that original blah, blah, blah that I had instead of, playing with it and destroying it, it'd be worth $5,000 right now.
Jeez. Yep. Not
That's
only that, but I feel like as soon as I throw something away that I was contemplating keeping, I need it.
Speaking of throwing things away and being organized, right? 7 in 10 Americans say seeing their partner clean is a turn on.
I like this story. I'm turning this into we're talking more about this Monday because I'll post it on Facebook and ask people and keep it clean. We'll go through this story, but keep it clean. Like, what is it about your partner that like turns you on, like gets you going, not like in the
Right.
sexual way, more like, Oh my God, when Pat wears jeans and a white t-shirt,
Mhm.
yes, please.
So hot. So hot. And some people will say, myself included, when if Dana wears one of my t-shirts around or whatever, it's like, yeah, that's pretty hot.
So what are
Yeah.
people saying about this? What was this story all about? I liked it.
Well, it didn't seem like it mattered what kind of cleaning it was. It's more like general home cleaning, mopping, vacuuming, dusting, putting things away. Gen Z and millennials were more likely to say they'd rather receive the gift of a clean house than something expensive. That has something to do with being turned on, though. I think that the gist of the story is, how about that? About 2/3 of people say a clean, fresh smelling home would make them more likely to get fresh with a partner. But that's not the, that's just, I don't know.
Yeah,
That's
no, no. Okay, so that's true though. Like I feel like if you've got a clean, uncluttered environment, like a lot of magic happens because
so
you just feel better.
if you walk in and the house looks and smells fresh and clean, you're going to say, "Hey, that's a turn on," especially if my partner did that. Yeah.
Yes. And I
Okay.
think I think there is something to be said about, if your partner's cleaning, like with you or for you, that it's
Well, I kind
like
of had the image in my head of,
best ever.
I had the image in my head of Dana vacuuming, wearing very little.
Of course, you turned it in
Hey,
dirty.
there's that angle, right? There's that angle
Yes.
of guys, I mean, so anyway, it's if you're one of those 710 Americans that think seeing your partner clean is a turn on, you are not alone. And also, as Jen mentioned, we'll post this. What turns you on with your partner? And we'll talk about it on Monday's show. And again, I think these are things like you said, oh man,
Like
he worked on the car or
yeah,
whatever.
like the everyday stuff, like the everyday random things. It's like, oh yeah,
That's
okay.
kind of a turn on. Maybe a
Yeah.
little unusual.
Yeah.
All right, here is Jen's favorite and relatively new. Well, this is a new part of the show on Friday. She's like, you know what I want to do? I want to do Jen's Friday fun facts.
Yeah. And once I said that, Kurt, you had one like right out of the chute. You're like, oh, well, what about this one? I'm like, yeah, put it on Friday's show.
and
Wait, hold it
that
for
one
Friday.
that one was that the little things that you may know or maybe you've read that are probably meaningless, but here, how about this? Surgical lights cast no visible shadow.
That's interesting and important, I would say.
And we went and we checked on it, and it looked like it was true. They have a way with the light bulbs, the way they're angled, and the special light bulbs, I guess. So yeah, you can put your hand right in front of the light, and that's probably good if you're doing open heart surgery. You don't want to have shadows blocking some of the stuff, right?
That's what I'm saying. It's pretty important.
No visible shadow.
I put this one in there because I know you love Australia.
Hmm.
Australia is wider than the moon.
I did not know that.
Me either. Me either. Venus is the only planet to spin clockwise. Didn't know that.
I didn't know that there was anyone that was different. I didn't know. If you would have asked me though, which way do planets spin, I would have assumed it was clockwise, right?
I don't know. I never
Okay,
even thought about it, but
now
I wanted
you
to add
do.
it in.
How about
Human,
the fact that? Go ahead.
human teeth are the only part of the body that cannot heal themselves. Oh,
Don't get any ideas. Like that means if I take out my spleen, it'll grow back. Just because that's what happened with me. I mean, that doesn't mean everybody's going to have that happen.
okay.
I
Google
did not remove my
images.
own spleen. I had my spleen taken out when I was 8 years old after a sledding accident, and then years later, it
Hey,
turns out there
grew
it's.
back.
Mhm.
You're all good now.
I can regenerate stuff.
There's a couple more. Okay, I have one of them. Like, okay, first of all, Google Images was created after J Lo wore the green dress at the 2000 Grammy Award show. I didn't know that.
Well. Now here's my question about that, and this is the problem. We don't really know any of the other information. Is that just in order the way things happened, or is it saying Google Images was created because J Lo wore the green
I
dress?
guess as a result, that's what I was thinking.
Okay, as a
Okay,
result of 2000 Grammys.
I'm gonna do this. Oh, hold on, I'm gonna skip one because I'm gonna do it last because I have an experiment. The Eiffel
Okay.
Tower was originally made for Barcelona. I didn't read about that. I just put that on there. I should have done a little research because I don't know why it got changed.
Well, this is the first time we're doing Jen's fun fact. So in the future,
I'll
we
be
will have.
better. I meant to look it up. I forgot.
You also put on here Buzz Lightyear's original name was Lunar Larry.
I like to include a little Disney thing because I'm a big Disney fan, and I know you are too. So
Yeah,
yeah, Buzz
Lunar
Lightyear's
Larry.
original name Lunar Larry. I don't like it. My
Buzz
kids.
Lightyear sounds more badass, even though he's a fun guy and everything. But Lunar Larry sounds kind of like more like a joke than Buzz Lightyear to me. But
I,
we all know Buzz Lightyear as
yeah.
Buzz.
I don't know if this is gonna work, but I'm gonna give it a try.
All right.
The fun fact is lemons float, but limes sink. And I couldn't find, I'm in Pat's motorhome and I couldn't find a glass bowl, so I'm gonna have to use a cup.
Okay.
So I have a lime here and I'm gonna put it in and I'm gonna see if it's gonna
Oh,
sink.
live.
No. What?
I don't know if they mean slices or the whole thing. Lemons float, but limes sink.
Okay, my lime is floating, and I can't imagine that if I cut it up into a slice. All right, I'll try that in a cocktail tonight. That'll be
Okay.
my. I was
Yeah.
thinking that this was going to be a magical, fun experiment that if you were watching on YouTube, you'd see it right before your eyes.
I can tell you
No.
what happened. You dropped a whole lime into a glass of water and the lime floated like an
Lemons
entire
float,
lime.
but
So I don't
lime
know if
sink.
it shouldn't make any difference, right?
That makes
Either
me
way.
mad.
There's
I
your
gotta
Friday
double check
fun fact.
these
Well, you
facts.
got to do an experiment, and it was a very quick experiment. And if
I
it
know.
disproved that limes sink, but I guess you have to do more experimenting.
I
You
guess
can't
so
just say
because
one
now
thing
I
and we're
feel like
done.
I've just like blown up my fun facts. They're no longer facts.
Well, the
Okay.
last one is a fun maybe fact. So you're going to be in Moses Lake for the not for the whole weekend, right?
Yeah, for the whole weekend, I'm gonna be in Moses Lake through Sunday, and then on
Okay.
Sunday morning, like we'll eat
Yeah.
breakfast, do another one last ride, load everything up, and then I'm heading over to Manson for the 4th of July week. Fun!
Do people know Manson or they know Lake Chelan?
Well,
Because
it's
every time
Lake
I say
Chelan,
Manson,
but Manson is charming. I like Manson better
I,
than Lake
I
Chelan.
understood. That's fine. But do people know? I mean, anybody that I think I would ask, like, where's Manson? They're like, oh no, Manson.
I
Is
know,
it
and
do
yeah, you're
people?
right.
I'm just asking. I mean, because I don't, I'm assuming that maybe it is a super popular place that I've never heard of, but Lake Chelan, I know.
Okay, it's right by Lake Chelan, right by Lake Chelan. Like you drive through Lake Chelan and then you hit Manson.
Got it. And then my fun thing for the weekend is I got a call from Herb Weisbaum. Remember Herb, who we used to
Yeah, the
work with?
consumer man.
Yeah, he's like, I've got tickets to go see Danny Seraphine. You guys want to go?
Who's
And I know,
that?
well, that's what, I was lucky to know that Danny Seraphine was the original drummer for Chicago, the band Chicago, when they were still the CTA, Chicago Transit Authority, way back when, and all the way through many, many years of Chicago, all their hits that you love. You like the 80s stuff better. I like the 70s stuff better. So
Oh no, I like the 70s stuff too from Chicago.
you like Look Away and Glory of, oh, that was Peter Cetera solo. Anyway, Danny Seraphine is going to be with world class band CTA at Dimitri's Jazz Alley on Sunday. So we're going to go see that.
Okay, that sounds fun. And with
They're
her
doing,
Weisbaum, give him a hug for me, please.
I will. And they're doing all the music of Chicago. I guess the original bassist, Jeff Coffey from Chicago, is there as well. But Chicago was an enormous band. I mean, if you remember from when they were dominant in the mid 70s, I mean, they had the whole brass section and everything. I'm thinking there were at least, 10, 12 people in the band. So this is one
Saturday in the park.
That's a good
I
one.
think it was the 4th of July. That's an
It was a
appropriate one.
huge inappropriate one. And you got all the words right, which if anybody knows Jen, sometimes, okay, often she gets the words wrong, but you still sing them that way anyway because it's fun.
Yes.
I think so
Also,
too.
also, if you're not into that necessarily, maybe you like Noah Kahn, who's huge. He's going to be at the Gorge, so real close to where I am right now.
Hmm.
Be at the Gorge tomorrow night, Saturday night. And
Yeah.
Sam Hunt, he's a country artist I know, but I really like him a lot. He's great.
He's
He's
had some
gonna,
crossover hits though. So I mean,
yeah,
it's so you may have heard of Sam Hunt. Body Like a Back Road was a big one of his.
yeah,
Yep.
he's a good one.
And so
Anyway, he's
White
gonna be at,
River
yeah, tomorrow
right,
night.
tomorrow. And if you were hoping to go and see well, this is did you see Spring Awakening at the Fifth Ave? Did you go to that?
Fifth Ave Theater? No, it's a like a Broadway type show. No, I haven't. I really wanted to go see it actually. It looks really good. So if you're into live theater, I would try to go hit that show this weekend. It's the last weekend for it. Or if you want to go catch a movie, I don't know what the weather's supposed to be like this weekend. I didn't look. Wow, lots of show
Like
prep.
it was pretty average. No, it seems like it was not. I didn't look at it and say, "Wow, this is going to be great." So, I mean, I think it's going to be fine, but not really boating weather necessarily. I
What's
mean,
new
you're
in the
looking it up right
theater?
now on your.
Yeah, I am. What's new in the
Well,
future?
you've got Quiet Place Day One, which those movies are terrifying. Just the idea that you can't make a sound or dead.
I don't like it.
That is opening. It's a scary one, so you don't like it. Also, Horizon and American Saga opens this weekend. Or, of course, if you didn't yet, you can go see Inside Out 2, which is highly recommended by the Kurt and Jen in the Morning podcast as a great movie to see.
Did you ever see it?
Not yet. Did you finish checking on the weather?
I did. The weather for Seattle area is partly sunny today and then cloudy the rest of the weekend, but it's going to be like in the mid 70s. So
Right.
it's
So
hot. So
yeah,
it's going to be might
like
be
I
a
was
little
saying,
muggy. Might be a
pretty
little
muggy, pretty yeah. It was not terrible for a Seattle weekend.
Okay.
Finally, if you want to go check out Freedom Fest, that's going on at JBLM tomorrow. It starts at 11 in the morning, ending with a fireworks show tomorrow night. Greenwood has their car show going on 9 to 5 tomorrow, and then
That's
this is the one that you
hold
wanted to
on.
go.
I do want to do this, but the Greenwood car show, Kurt, is
Mhm.
mega. Like it's a huge ass car show.
They should have just named it that, the huge ass car show in Greenwood. But that is a big deal if you're into, and who doesn't like going and seeing old shiny cars because they're perfect. I mean these people, I mean they get into a spit shine and they're just head to toe. The whole thing is just perfect.
Yeah. Okay. Buckley, the city of Buckley has a
All
big
yeah.
log show all weekend long. It's like a logging festival. And I just wanted to mention it because it's something different. Like if you're just looking for something different for the kids to do because everyone's bored, get in the car, go to Buckley, check it out. And here's another huge thing that's happening. If you don't want to go
Mhm.
to the Buckley Log Show, go to Pride Fest because and this is something to know if you're going to downtown Seattle, Pride Parade is on Sunday.
Right. And that is
It's
going to take
mega.
up a lot of the streets all the way up Fourth. Starts at Fourth and Union, ends near the Seattle Center by the Space Needle. So it's going to, I mean, it takes up, it's a big deal. There will be a lot of people there too. So either if you're going to go see it, fantastic, get there early to get your spot along the parade route, or understand that if you're going to be driving down there or traveling or heading downtown, it might be a little bit hairy as far as parking and commuting goes, right?
That's right. And tomorrow, so that's Sunday, is Pride Parade followed by Pride Fest at the Seattle Center. There's also Pride Fest tomorrow from noon to 8 on Capitol Hill. So this is all the Seattle, we're going through the Seattle area stuff.
Whole
So
Pride weekend in downtown Seattle. So there you
yeah,
go. Yes.
yeah.
Um, don't forget, we want you to comment on what your partner does, and we should, I'm going to put the keep it clean right here. Comment, keep it clean on
Yes.
what your partner does that turns you on. And because this came from the story about people that said they were turned on by their partner doing household chores
Yeah.
and in the house. So if you've got something, maybe it's I think that Dana would agree if I'm out doing manly things, traditional mowing the lawn or whatnot, you get all sweaty, but she might say, yeah, that's kind of a turn on. Doesn't make me
Okay.
want to mow the lawn anymore, but
I'm pretty sure she's going to say that. Okay, so have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday, which is the
yeah,
beginning of July, July 1st. We're excited to see you. But in the meantime,
absolutely.
make some great, happy memories, make good choices, find joy, and spread kindness.